That's the worst dish I've ever tasted. 15 years to cook that shit, and you're laughing.
Oh my God, Adam, please stop this.
You want to go out of the house, you know what I mean? Come on.
You can bring your taser back, it's okay.
Could you just lift up so I can have a quick look, if you don't mind?
Says rock and roll.
Mate, your mum's there. God's sake.
In Hell's Kitchen, chefs stand out for a lot of reasons. Talent, temper, confidence. But every once in a while, someone stands out for a completely different reason. Not because they're the best, not because they're the worst, but because they're just weird. The kind of weird where even Gordon Ramsay has to stop for a second and wonder what exactly he's dealing with. And Hell's Kitchen has had plenty of chefs like that, the ones who didn't just make mistakes. They made the whole room feel off. And once you see them, you never really forget them. One of the clearest examples of that is Seth Levine from season 5. Because Seth wasn't just awkward, he was obsessed. At first, it almost seems harmless.
I've read his books, I visited his restaurant in Manhattan. I think we have very similar styles.
He presents his dish, gets destroyed by Gordon, laughs at the worst possible moment. That already makes him stand out.
That's the worst dish I've ever tasted. 15 years to cook that shit, and you're laughing.
But then you start realizing this isn't normal nervous energy, this is something else. Because later, when the team is talking, Seth casually reveals that he knows way too much about Gordon Ramsay. Not just the obvious stuff, his birthday, where he was born.
Where was I born?
Glasgow.
What was the name of my last book?
Humble Pie.
Yeah, how many children do I have?
I don't want to tell you their names.
You know their names?
Ollie, Megan, Jack, and
The names of his kids, even the car his wife bought him. That's the moment where Seth stops feeling quirky and starts feeling genuinely unsettling. And the reason it works so well as a Hell's Kitchen moment is because everyone around him reacts exactly the way you'd expect.
I find it weird that he knew that much history. If I was the chef, I'd be a little scared.
Yeah, you stay there. You stay there.
Not impressed, not amused, just uncomfortable. That's what makes Seth such a perfect example for a video like this, because weird in Hell's Kitchen isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a guy smiling after getting destroyed, then revealing he knows more about Gordon Ramsay than Gordon probably wants him to. But if Seth was weird in a creepy way, Raj Branston from season 8 was weird in complete chaos mode, because Raj never felt like he was operating on the same frequency as everybody else. Right from the start, something about him feels off. Not just eccentric, not just awkward, off. He's the kind of chef who can turn a normal situation into something bizarre in seconds.
Everybody's just completely jealous of me. And that's the only reason why they want to eliminate me, because they know I'm going to win.
One moment he's in the dorms doing karate after drinking. The next he's at a wine tasting, basically forgetting the whole point is to taste the wine, not pound it.
Oh my God. Holy shit, we got a Mr. Miyagi.
It was like, oh my God, I need a glass of wine.
Raj, you're supposed to sip it, not gulp it.
And then in service, somehow he gets even stranger, because Raj isn't just overwhelmed, he reacts to pressure in ways that make no sense to anyone around him. He stacks garnishes like he's building some kind of edible tower, he gets thrown out of the kitchen, and then later, in one of the most ridiculous moments of the season, he starts eating rejected fish in the middle of service. That's what makes Raj legendary.
Raj, please don't do that. Look at his eating, look. Haven't you got enough in there?
But that's so good. It's really a waste.
Wow.
Because with some weird chefs, you at least understand what they were trying to do. With Raj, half the time it feels like even Raj doesn't know. And that kind of unpredictability is exactly what made him impossible to ignore. Honestly, Raj might be the only chef who could make complete confusion feel like a personality trait. Then there's Gina Aloise from season 11. And this is the kind of weird that hits immediately. Because from the second she shows up, Gina doesn't feel like someone entering a cooking competition. She feels like someone entering her own strange little universe.
Is Alfredo al dente? Gordon, what the hell kind of name is that shit?
The best example? The puppet. Not a joke for 2 seconds. Not a one-off bit. A full puppet. In Hell's Kitchen. And somehow, Gina treats this like completely normal behavior, while everyone around her is just trying to process what's happening. That alone would be enough. But then it keeps going. The way she talks, the way she carries herself, the way she seems convinced other people are intimidated by her. Everything about Gina feels disconnected from the room she's standing in. That's why she stands out so much.
Along with everyone. I'm the person that makes everybody laugh all the time. these girls kind of like look up to me.
Because some weird chefs are strange under pressure. Gina was strange before the pressure even really started, and once you add the puppet into the mix, it becomes one of those Hell's Kitchen storylines that stops feeling real almost immediately. Season 12 gave us a completely different kind of weird with Simone Hammond, because Simone didn't come across as loud weird or funny weird. She came across as unsettling. At first it's little things. She drifts around, talks in a way that feels disconnected, moves through the kitchen like she's in a completely different competition than everyone else. And that's what makes her stand out, because nobody around her really knows what to do with her. Her teammates don't trust the vibe. The energy feels strange, and even before she's gone, people are already reacting to her like something just isn't right. Then comes the moment that locks her into Hell's Kitchen weirdness forever. At elimination, right before Gordon makes the decision, Simone basically decides it for him.
My decision is...
It's okay, Chef, I can go.
Simone, good night.
She just says she can go, and Gordon accepts it immediately. That's what makes her so memorable. Because in a show built on people fighting to stay, Simone felt like someone who was physically present but mentally somewhere else the entire time. And that kind of weird lingers. Then there's Royce Wagner from season 10. And Royce is weird in one of the most uncomfortable ways possible. The guy who doesn't seem to realize how strange he's being. He talks about himself in third person, which already makes every conversation feel slightly off. But then the season keeps giving you more. He shows up to the medic because he got hit in the face with a scallop.
Find me sexy with my tight clothes.
He starts flirting in ways that don't land at all. And then somehow he still finds ways to make himself stand out in situations where blending in would have helped him way more.
Oh my God. Adam, please stop this.
You let the dog out of the house, you know what I mean? Come on.
You can bring your taser back, it's okay.
That's what makes Royce different from someone like Raj. Raj felt chaotic. Royce feels socially broken in a very specific, very awkward way. And that kind of weird can be just as memorable, because it makes every normal interaction feel just a little more bizarre than it should. And finally, there's Tommy Stevens from season 9, because Tommy is proof that weird doesn't always have to be uncomfortable. Sometimes it's just impossible to contain. From the forehead tattoo to the random jokes.
Could you just lift up so I can have a quick look, if you don't mind?
Says rock and roll.
To the way his brain always seems to be running in some completely different direction. Tommy never really feels like a standard Hell's Kitchen contestant. He feels like someone who wandered in from a totally different show and somehow made it work. That's what makes Tommy such a fun closer for a list like this. Because unlike some of the other weird chefs, Tommy's oddness isn't what pushes people away. It's what makes him memorable. Whether he's making grape jokes during punishment, saying something completely out of pocket.
You know, let me put my brain to work. You'll probably have grape expectations for a better joke. Grape jokes. So many grape jokes.
Or somehow turning a serious situation into a bizarre little side quest. Tommy always feels like Tommy.
I gotta ask you something. Why did you send me out of the kitchen? I should not have had the lead tonight, and I could have held it down with an any stick. I'm so mad.
And that's rare, because in Hell's Kitchen, weird usually gets crushed by pressure. Tommy somehow carried it all the way to the finale. And that might be the weirdest part of all, because that's the thing about Hell's Kitchen. A lot of chefs stand out because they're talented. Some stand out because they're disasters. But the weirdest chefs are different. They don't just mess up the service, they mess up the vibe. They make Gordon pause.
Wait, your mum's there. God's sake.
I miss you so much. I love you.
They make teammates uncomfortable, and they leave behind moments that are way too strange to blend into the rest of the season. That's why people still remember them. Not because they were the best, not because they were the worst, but because nobody else could have acted like that even if they tried. So who do you think was the weirdest chef here? Seth Levine? Raj Branston? Gina Eloise? Simone Hammond? Royce Wagner? Or Tommy Stevens? Let me know in the comments. And if there's another Hell's Kitchen chef who was just way too weird to ignore, there's definitely more where that came from.